Who is ready for some Recoome Kaboom? Hey, Great Figure Man here with Recoome, the latest S.H Figuarts release in Japan. Recoome is the third member of the Ginyu Force to release, and now we just one release away from completing the set, and that is Berta and Goldo in May, I believe. So a couple more months away and then we'll have them all. Okay, so before I crack this bad boy open, let's just have a quick look at the box. Since he is a Premium Bandai release, he's got the Tamashii Nations Web exclusive logo printed on the box. And if you're new to collecting, keep in mind that the Toei stickers here, they change from region to region. So depending on where the figure comes out, it will be maybe gold, silver, maybe even purple or pink. So it does vary a little bit. However, every figure should have the Tamashii Nations quality seal. This is important to keep an eye out for, to make sure you're not getting a bootleg or anything like that. Though it does not guarantee it, but it is a solid place to start looking. Anyway, let's flip them around. So yeah, on the back you can see the standard design and posing and highlighting of the key accessories he comes with. Frog, ball, and the Ginyu frog face. I can't wait to pop those open and have a good look. So anyway, without further ado, let's open them up and check them out. Okay, so here he is out of his box. For such a big thing, he sure does come with a lot of really cool accessories. Not just hands and faces, but we've got the frog and head, which is awesome, I reckon. From the top here, we've got the Ginyu frog, or should I say frog Ginyu head. That's after he's done the body switch change with the frog, which is down here, by the way. Anyway, moving down, we've got the 3 extra heads that he comes with. They all got the open mouth screaming face. However, it's a bit hard to see at the moment, but we'll get a closer look shortly. The pupils on each eye is facing in different directions, so he's looking straight on, down to the right, and then down to the left. So it gives you a good selection there to use with his various poses that he does. Next up, we've got the Ginyu frog, which is looking awesome. Can't wait to get a better look at him. Probably my favourite accessory with this figure so far. Then next up, we've also got the 3-star Namek Dragonballz. For the other side here, it's chocker full of hands, and while most of them are kind of basically the same, they've got the ball joint attachment on a different angle to allow for those different poses. That makes it a bit easier to get them into the right pose, which is awesome. So even though it's a bit of a double up, it's still very useful. Beyond those, we've got the open hand, grippy hands. So this is good for holding the Dragon Ball or for grabbing someone. And then we've got the 2 open-handed hands here as well for his attacks and I guess for posing as well when he does his infamous kaboom against Goku. Okay, now that we've had a good look at the accessories, let's pop them out and get a closer look at the figure itself. So here he is in all his glory. He has a very solid feel to him, kind of a cross between Nappa and the original Broly release. He's definitely got a good weight to him, which gives him a solid base when you want to get him into those weird poses that he does with the Ginyu Force. So yeah, the flaps on him is the same as the Ginyu figure. They just got the small peg and they pop in. They do come off quite easy, but I feel like it's a little bit better than the Ginyu figure. Let's get that back in there. Feels a bit more of a tighter peg hole than the previous ones, which is quite good. So it doesn't come off quite as easy. The same with the lower leg flaps as well. They're held on the same way. So in terms of flexibility and posability, his leg waist joint is really good, especially since he needs to do a pose where he's balancing on one leg. So you can't quite do the splits, but you can get pretty close, which is good. His waist has good movement as well, and same with the top part of his torso. It's pretty similar to the previous figures with the same type of armor design, but it definitely gives you enough range to get into the poses that you need. Okay, so that's enough about the legs. Let's have a look at the shoulder joint. I'll pop the shoulder off here, so shoulder pad off so we can see it a bit easier. The joint, it comes around really well and comes out, and then the arm can go up on itself. So I think it gives you a very good range of mobility. However, for my one, the shoulder on his right side, well, the part comes out of his inner cavity really well. The inner joint here is very tight, so it almost won't move at all. You kind of have to get some decent leverage off the shoulder part. Once he starts moving, it's good, but oh, there goes the set. Once you do get it moving, it's not so bad. It's just that initial movement. So if yours is really tight, what you want to do is just kind of put a thumb or finger on the main inner joint part here, and just use that to help leverage the arm up and down. Okay, so while his head's off, let's take a wee look at the joint and way it connects. It's exactly the same way as the Ginyu head. Just got that big flat bar there, and the head just connects on. So it's really nice and easy, and it's definitely a bit tighter than the Ginyu head. I know at least on my Ginyu, the head was pretty loose, so it came off quite easy. This one's definitely on a lot more securely, which is good. His neck here has a decent range of motion as well, which helps get him into those funky poses he has. However, you do get a bit of a big gap in here. It might have been quite nice if the inside of him was also flesh colored, so it wasn't as much of a standout when he's in that weird posing, but I guess it can't be too fussy. For overall detailing on him, he's very limited. It's generally very base color and plastic on him. However, his ear on the inside here is actually coloured slightly, so it does give you the contrast and detailing, which is nice. But beyond that, he's very basic in terms of shading and detailing on his armour. It'll be quite cool if we get a battle damaged version of him in the future, which has a lot more detailing. But for now, this guy looks really good, and he'll fit well with the rest of the team. And speaking of which, let's get them out and compare sizing. Okay, so here are all the Ginyu Force figures that are released so far. We've got the Captain, Jace, and obviously the latest, Recoome. Yeah, the scaling and sizing looks really good between them. Ginyu and Recoome are pretty similar in height, not too much of a difference there. However, the body size and the weight difference between Recoome and Ginyu is huge. Definitely looks pretty small in comparison. And then you've got little bit Jace over here as well, who besides this here is definitely a lot smaller. So yeah, but overall they look really good together. So we've just got another 2 months until we can complete the set, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, to go with these three, let's also take a little wee look at the size difference with the recently released Gohan, and then Goku. It's crazy. Goku here actually looks like a tiny figure in comparison to Recoome. The size difference is pretty crazy. And then obviously Gohan again down there, who's looking pretty small. So Gohan versus Recoome, there's looking really good in terms of scaling. They would definitely look really good on the same shelf together. That's for a little bit more of a side-by-side comparison. Here goes Recoome and Goku. So I think they're definitely knocking these Ginyu Force figures out of the park here. They're definitely awesome. And I really do want another version of them, one with more damage on them, the battle damaged versions, and more shading. I think that'd be an awesome addition. Maybe as a event edition figure in the future. I'd definitely be jumping on those if they release them. Anyway, well, we've got Ginyu off to the side here. We'll bring them in and check out the head on them. Okay, so here's a close-up of the Ginyu head. Looks really good. It's got the red pupils there. Very kind of shocked. No real substance behind those eyes. Look on it, which is awesome. Okay, so here we have Ginyu, or Frog Ginyu. But yeah, he's looking really cool there for a face there. I kind of wish I kind of almost got a second body of these Ginyu, so I can have one with the frog head and just the base version of him. And then of course we've got the frog himself. Oh, you got the frog there as well, and which Ginyu's body is in. So let's get a closer look of the frog. Okay, here we go. The frog is very well detailed and painted. All the lines on it, even the eyes have details of the indent in there as well, which is great. And then just the white base for the frog. But yeah, the top of him is looking awesome. And let's have a look at the heads as well. So this is the first head he comes with. So he's just got the looking straight ahead. And you can see on the top here how the hair pops on. And then same for the scouter, it's just a L-shaped peg hole. So this one's looking down towards the right. And then looking down towards the left. The sculpt on these heads look awesome. They're all very similar, but it's nice having the different direction for the eyes, and gives you a bit more options when you do your posing. The default head on him, I think, is probably the best looking one. It's got the most detail and highest level of sculpt. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with the way Recoome's turned out. Solid figure, good weight, good flexibility, posability. His face sculpting looks amazing. My only real, I guess, disappointment is the stiff shoulder joints. Especially the right one here was really hard for me to move. If I put a little bit of lubricant in there, it should get a bit better. But it's kind of weird. It's kind of stiff, and then this part here is really loose. So it's kind of a weird combination of the main ball joint being tight and then the whole shoulder part being a bit loose. It's kind of a bit of a shame for that. Hopefully it's not all the fingers, but it's something to keep in mind. And then obviously the shoulder flaps here. While this one is an upgrade over the Ginyu one, it's still a bit of a pain in the ass how they come off real easily. I guess not too much that they could really do about that, except for making these peaks a little bit longer. But in terms of accessories, I think knockout. The frog, and obviously the Dragonball, and the Ginyu head here are amazing. And then you've got the awesome 3 heads over here as well. While they're basically the same, again, the different direction of pupils just works out. And you don't really have too many expressions in the show anyway. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about him. And next month we should be having Reddits. So yeah, please like and subscribe so you can check out his review video once it hits. And then after that we'll be having Frieza and his pod, followed by Berta and Gordo in May. So I'm looking forward to getting hands on all those to round out the Ginyu Force. So again, thank you very much for watching. Cheers!